So, good afternoon, everybody. I am Vivek Chauhan from Tata Steel Marketing Team. I would like to welcome you all for yet another Tata Steel webinar on manufacturing excellence. The subject for today afternoon is Zero Defect, Zero Effect. Today we have with us an expert, Mr. Akhilesh Singh. He is a specialist in lean management and lean manufacturing. He has authored number of books on the subject and he has a wide range of experience in the industry. In fact, he has overall more than 4 decades of experience in the industry. And he's an engineer, he's a metallurgist from ITBHU. So I will hand over the seat to him now to take forward the webinar. Thank you.
मेरा आग्रह है नौजवानों से विशेष करके छोटे मोटे उद्योगकारों से दो बातों में कॉम्प्रोमाइज न करें। एक, जीरो डिफेक्ट, दूसरा जीरो इफेक्ट। हम वो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करें जिसमें जीरो डिफेक्ट हो ताकि दुनिया के बाजार से कभी वापस ना आए, और हम वो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करें जिससे जीरो इफेक्ट हो, पर्यावरण पर इसका कोई नेगेटिव इफेक्ट ना हो। जीरो डिफेक्ट, जीरो इफेक्ट के साथ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर का सपना लेकर के अगर हम आगे चलते हैं तो मुझे विश्वास है मेरे भाइयों बहनों कि जिस काम को लेकर के हम चल रहे हैं उस काम को पूरा करेंगे।
Hello friends, very good afternoon and thank you Vivek for introduction. Friends, you have already heard what our Prime Minister announced on the 15th August of 2014. After his announcement, the job was assigned to Government and Quality Council of India. Incidentally, I was involved in that project and a model was developed, especially for SME to become world class. The purpose of zero defect, zero effect is to grow our small and medium industries to make export throughout the world. Unless we increase our export through SMEs, we won't be able to sustain the growth of population and economic development of country. So this on the initiative of Prime Minister of India, this massive project has been taken and we need help of every small and medium industry to learn, implement, perform and transform the Indian industry to become the real leader in the manufacturing sector. So I would like to give a brief introduction of what is zero defect and zero effect. Let's begin with what is the goal of a small and medium enterprises. We must be very clear about what is our goal. The goal, I am sure everybody will say the profit, and that's right. So far we have operated our all industries for making the profit. Profit is good, but that's not enough. Today what we need, 21st century, a sustainable, profitable growth. We must have a good environment, good climate. We must leave a good world for our next generation, for our children. For that, this zero defect and zero effect model has been created so that we can create quality. At the same time, we must control the polluting effects from our industry. So this is a comprehensive model developed to promote the Indian industry. So growth is required in the 4 areas. Every industry must grow financially. It must make profit. It must make turnover. And annually it must grow. But to make the growth, profit and turnover growth, our quality must be the world class, delivery on time, and price should be competitive. How to do it? This model tells you. So you have to improve process capability. You have to make your processes capable to become producer of best quality product with on-time delivery at minimum price, making a zero defect and zero effect. I just give one latest example. Recently, our 117 athletes participated in Rio Olympic, but could get only 2 medals. The reason is that all participants they know their jobs, but they were not competitive because their capability of performing was poor. That was the reason they could not get more medals. So the same way industry has to increase its process capability to become winner in the global market. And for that, your employees must be fully involved. They have to learn the latest management techniques, latest quality improvement tools, environmental management tools. They must get involved in the innovation, creativity, and participation in the all activities of the company. Whether it is a small company or the big company, employee involvement is the most important. So zero defect, zero effect model focuses all these areas and all the most practical but simple tools which can be easily implemented by small and medium industries has been incorporated in this model, which I will be explaining in the coming slides. One information for you, whatever questions you are having, you can type on your computer and I'll try to answer those questions after some questions come here time to time. So what is solution? Already you have heard the Prime Minister, the zero defect and zero effect, the solution. So the main purpose is of zero defect, zero effect is certified companies, because we are inviting the world's best companies under Make in India mission to produce world-class quality product for whole global market. So they need supporting local Indian SMEs who can supply them quality products. So by training and facilitating Indian SMEs, some will come up who can have zero defect, zero effect quality, and they would become a preferred supplier to the big companies who are coming here. So as you see in this slide, it is going to bring balance. It is not just quality making and high production is not enough at the cost of environment. It is bringing a big balance between the quality and the pollution, which is essential for the society and especially for our next generation. So there are so many government schemes launched by the Ministry of MSME to support the Indian SMEs. Many of you must be participating in some of these schemes like Lean Manufacturing Scheme, Design Clinic Scheme, Quality Upgradation, QMS, and Quality Technology Tools, Technology Upgradation. So all these schemes has helped many SMEs. I myself is doing consulting on the lean manufacturing to many SMEs who has been benefited. So ultimately, all these improvement schemes are going to help you to zero defect, zero effect certification. This is a unique certification scheme designed to certify the Indian SMEs who can produce the world-class quality product, but at the same time have a full control over the environment. How it is going to be done, I'll be explaining further. So what is a Jade? You can say an effective and efficient operating system equipped with capable processes and people to produce and deliver world-class quality products and services without making any adverse impact on the environment. To attain the zero defect, zero effect level, so SMEs, those who are willing to get certified as a JED certified company, they have to first learn the JED model, just like ISO 9000 quality management system you have learned and implemented. The same way you have to learn the zero defect, zero effect model, which will be explained. Then you have to apply in your business processes. And once you are sure that your system is operating as per JED model, then you apply to Quality Council of India, a government body which is authorized for a JED certification. QCI will appoint a third-party JED assessor to make site assessment of your processes. And once the companies who qualify, and they will be awarded JED certificates. There are 5 levels of JED certificate, just like in our examination or the athletes in the Olympic get bronze, silver, gold medal. The same way, there are 5 levels of JET certificates: bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and platinum, depending on the performance and process maturity of the SME. And once you got, say for example, bronze, you are free to apply for the silver. You can improve your processes and apply for the silver upgrade. The same way, the world-class companies who attain the platinum level, they'll be recognized throughout the world as the best companies. What are the benefits of JET certification? Benefits. First benefit is these JET certified companies will be on the website of the government. Any leading company in the world, they want for a particular item which is the best company, immediately the certified company will appear on the Google or in the website. So they automatically become preferred supplier to make in India companies. Then recently, last year, in fact, government has made 20% purchasing for PSUs mandatory from SMEs, but they can purchase only from the companies who are having good quality, and JED certificate is going to be one of the prime criteria for selection of vendors. So the PSU, they are buying thousands of crores of products. So this is going to open a new market for small and medium enterprises, and JET certified company will be preferred supplier. The credible supplier of e-business. Today, if you see, we are doing a lot of internet marketing, but in many cases, a lot of cheating is being done because there is no certification body. Here, the JET companies are going to be credible supplier certified by the government of India. So this is going to help you to develop your net marketing. Duly recognized quality producer. It becomes a certificate that this is a company which has got a good quality system and producing quality product. JED will help all SMEs to reduce waste, improve their yield, improve their performance. Thus, it will reduce their production cost. It will make the competitive to all SME producers. And the most important part of the JED is it is making sure that all the companies who are certified and pollution free, which is a very essential for our quality of life, especially for our next generation. We must keep a clean world. Learning and practice of modern management system. Today, most of the SMEs, they are not exposed to the modern management systems. They are working as per their common sense and traditional management practices. So this will give opportunity to learn what are the latest modern management system, and they will start learning and operating. So beneficiary of special incentives. So government of India is going to announce special incentives for JET companies in terms of the export benefits, some freedom from inspector Raj, all these things which is being worked out so that it becomes more attractive for them. And most important, every day quality improvement tools are coming new. So the continuous learning and implementation of best practices, what is being happening in the world. So SMEs also get exposure of the best practices, so they can learn and improve their management performance. As I told, JED is a certification process. The companies who qualify, they will be given a JED certificate and enrolled on the government website. How the certification process goes on. First thing, what government is trying to do is making awareness among the SMEs throughout the country. Even I conducted several awareness workshops. Now a new series of workshops are going to be conducted throughout the country to make people understand what is a JED, what are the benefits, how to go for it. Then the second step is the companies, they have to implement JED as per the standard published by the government, which is available on jeded.org.insight. So this here the companies, they have to learn themselves or hire a consultant and implement JED. Once their operations become as per the JED model, then they can apply online self-assessment on a JED site. Once your online self-assessment is submitted to the Jade Secretariat, they will do desktop assessment, critically analyze information given by you, and if your company meets the criteria of the Jade, they'll appoint a Jade assessor who will be third party Jade assessor. He will conduct on-site assessment, and based on the evaluation, marks are given. If your company qualifies having a matured enough processes, then either bronze, silver, gold, diamond, or platinum certificate awarded to the company, which is valid for 4 years, and there will be every 18 months, at the interval of every 18 months, surveillance audit to make sure that you are maintaining the JET model. So this is the, in brief, the certification process. So if you are having any question, you can please type on your computer, which will be answered. Somebody has asked who are the certifying agency. Certifying agency is a government body that is a JET secretariat created under the Ministry of Commerce, which is it is monitored by Quality Council of India. They will evaluate and they will certify, but audit will be done by independent auditors of third party. Thank you for your question, Mr. Gupta. So, as I told, there are 5 types of certificates: bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and platinum, based on the scores, which I'll explain later on how the scoring is done. So, let's now come to the structure of JED maturity model. It is covering JED maturity model is basically to make your processes matured enough to produce best quality product based on the 12 management disciplines. As shown here, there are 12 disciplines involved: production management, materials management, design management, quality management, customer service management, safety management, environmental management, energy management, natural resource management, human resource management, intellectual property management, and performance management. So this is giving you a comprehensive model, and it is a simple which can be easily implemented by SMEs, because I have done some implementation of these things during the pilot testing stage. This can be easily understood and implemented by all SMEs if they properly learn and willing to do it. So it has been made in that way, it doesn't create any complexity for SMEs. So as shown in this diagram, production, material, design, quality are the core disciplines, and then safety, environment, energy, and natural resource management are the supporting to make ensure that zero effect, and at the same time to support the business customer service, human resource, IPR management, and performance management. So all these parameters of this model are distributed in these 12 disciplines. In this management JED model, there are total 50 parameters. These are called enablers and outcomes. Enablers of product quality, which ensure that you make product with zero defect. Enablers for environmental quality, which ensures that the processes don't emit any pollution beyond the compliance norms given the pollution control authorities. Enablers for resource management basically guide you that the natural resources, which are the scarce and limited, they must be optimized. We should not waste the natural resources. And finally, the measurement of outcomes. At the same time, we must measure our performance regularly, how it is being improved. Yeah, somebody has asked, will JED replace ISO 9000? No, it is not competing with ISO 9000. In fact, the ISO 9000 becomes a part of the JED. You are doing, if you are implementing ISO 9000, so this is going to help you to achieve JED. So this way, it is, as I mentioned, it is ISO 9000 focuses on quality management only. So, which is a quality management already one of the parameters. So it is going to help, and it is much beyond the quality ISO 9000. So SME processes can be classified in four categories. Any SME organization struggler who doesn't have any awareness of these concepts. So they are just doing by trial and error methods. The next, who are having some maturity, beginner, at least they have started learning and trying to improve their processes. They are just like a learner and the beginner. Then next, those who have learned something they have organized, started making their systems in a structured way as per the Jade model, but not fully controlled. Then the fourth level is the achiever. Achiever means who are well organized and they are getting the desired results and under control. And fifth level, world class, they are having a total control over their process and they are really doing some best practices which can be learned by others. So the companies, those who are going to start, they may be struggler, but as they go on learning, they become beginner, organized, achiever, and world class. This is a journey and giving opportunity for every company to convert from a struggler to the world class. One of the best examples I'll say, which is being quoted everywhere, Havels. Havels is one of the industry which was few years back very small industry. Now it is operating in so many countries and one of the best rated products it is making. One question is there, let me see. Somebody has asked, can you please give source of information for government schemes available in this regard? Are these schemes available across India? Yes, I'm giving the, you just go to DC MSME website, you will find the schemes. Then the financial support scheme on Jade, it was just few days back notified by the government. Another site is jed.org.in. You visit that site, you will get the complete scheme details. So this is a just few days back it has been notified by the government as an official scheme, and the scheme was formally launched last week itself during the quality conclave. What is the global recognition of JET certification vis-a-vis ISO 9000? Very nice question you have asked. Already, Government of India is promoting this scheme. It is just launched. They are contacting all international bodies to recognize it. And in fact, it was suggested in the conclave, it is going to help after the success of this scheme. We are going to help other developing countries. It is going to be even the foreign policy tool. It was advised by some of the visionary people. So this is just beginning, but here a lot of international experts were consulted while formulating this scheme. Now let's come to that. As I explained, there are 12 management functions are there which are involved in the JED. First, coming to the production management, which is a key for the SMEs. We must produce zero defect quality. Zero defect doesn't mean that 0% defect. Zero defect means deviation from the specification. Defect is defined internationally as a deviation from the specification. Whatever the customer wants from you, that becomes a specification, or whatever the international standard you are following, that becomes a standard. Any deviation from the standard or the customer requirement is called as deviation, as a defect. So to ensure that zero defect, our production management should be very strong. So these are the 8 parameters involved. I'm just giving the brief of these 8 parameters. First is the waste management. Waste is word has come from the lean manufacturing concept. That is the main cause of failure of the industries. Where the more waste is generated, there the cost goes up, quality is bad, customer dissatisfaction is very high. Then the second movement, already you are seeing the Swachh Bharat. Like the Swachh Bharat, every industry should be Swachh workplace. You must be knowing that 5S is one of the very famous Japanese management technique which is used for maintaining the very clean workplace. Then third tool is the daily work management. Fourth is the planned maintenance. In most of the SMEs, there is maintenance is not structured. Only breakdown maintenance is done. So they will learn how to do the plant maintenance. The equipment performance is judged by one of the very powerful metrics called overall equipment effectiveness. That is called OEE. By that we measure how healthy and efficient your equipment. So these techniques will be known to the SMEs and they can improve the equipment availability. Then next is the plant layout. There has to be plant layout which has to be very simple and create a flow. Then technology upgradation. The technology has to be continuously upgraded with time. And finally, the low cost automation is one of the techniques where people can automate their machines at very low cost using the modern devices. So there is a question, is it mandatory for local rolling mills manufacturing TMT? It is not, Jade is not mandatory for anybody at this stage. It is a voluntary, it is just like somebody wants to improve their knowledge, they can go for the higher education, but it is not mandatory for anybody. Those companies who want to become world class, they have to go for it. It is optional for them. It is not made mandatory for anybody so far. So most of you must have heard about the lean manufacturing. This is the best manufacturing practice in the world. It was adopted from the Toyota production system. The government of India already implementing the lean in several SMEs through the clusters and they are getting benefited. So for the production management, the best technique is the lean manufacturing. One of the parameters of the waste management can be handled by lean manufacturing. I just in brief, I am explaining you in about the lean in every industry of the world, whether it is small or the big or the medium size, whether it is operating in India, Bangladesh or the USA, all are using only 4Ms. You must be aware: materials, machine, men and methods. These these 4Ms interact at the process and at any moment all the operational activities are doing only two things, either adding value or making waste. So there are 8 kinds of waste are generated in every kind of industry. This was identified by Taichi Ono, the inventor of Toyota production system in Toyota, and he identified these 8 types of waste and focused only on the elimination of these waste, and that became during last 70 years the world's best company. Based on the Toyota production system, today the lean manufacturing is being adopted throughout the world in all types of industries. Yeah, somebody has asked what is the difference between Jade and Six Sigma. Six Sigma is one of the quality improvement tools for the Jade. There is no comparison. By applying Six Sigma or statistical techniques, we can improve the quality of products. So these are 8 kinds of waste. Actually, lean manufacturing focuses on recognizing these eight kinds of waste, then identifying where the wastes are generated and tries to so the lean manufacturing, to create zero defect, we have to do 3 things. In all the processes, we have to detect waste, we have to eliminate waste, and we have to prevent waste. All these tools are used for elimination of the waste and prevention of the waste. Once you can eliminate the waste, your process becomes world class. So the JED is trying to help the industry to learn and adopt best lean manufacturing practices to minimize the waste. They are in the Toyota production system in Japanese, they call it 3Ms. They are the main cause of problems in the production process. These processes are called, these three M's are called Muda, Mura, and Muri in the Japanese word. Muda means, as already I have explained, these are 8 types of waste are produced in every kind of production process. Mura is unevenness, sometimes fluctuation that causes the waste. Same way, sometimes overstrain more than the capacity you are trying to produce from a machine, or you are overloading a worker to do more, that causes stress and that generates waste. Same way, fluctuations in your process, your operations, business, that creates waste. So the Toyota says the main focus should be to control the Muda, Mura, and Muri for all these. For these controls, there are so many tools are there. For the Swachh workplace, I am sure that many of you must be implementing 5S and well aware about it. 5S, 5S is the foundation. It is just like if you want to improve our health, we must keep our body clean, systematic, and organized. Same way, 5S is the foundation for improvement, foundation for success. Like same way, Swachh Bharat is going on, and we are seeing the difference. Something is happening. So industries, those who want to go for the Jade or the lean, they have to start with the 5S to remove all these unwanted items from their shop floor. Then daily work management. We must have a agenda for managing safety, quality, delivery, cost, morale, maintenance, and environment. So this is one of the parameters which has to be followed by every company to become a world-class manufacturer. The next parameter is the technology selection and upgradation. So every day new technology is coming, whether it is small industry or big industry. So the people have to continuously update. Like even the simple lathe can be made converted to CNC machine, CNC lathe with a little cost. The same way in every area, technology has to be continuously upgraded to meet the customer requirements to match with the world's best quality product. Low cost automation, just as you see, instead of hammer, a simple press which can do in just few seconds, which may take few minutes. So the people should learn and use some jigs, tools to save their time. That is the purpose of low cost automation. Here the investment of low cost automation is whole payback period is hardly few months. But companies, SMEs, they have to learn the various techniques. So this is Jade is emphasizing companies to learn low cost automation technique and implement to improve quality and productivity. If you see the maintenance during consulting to various SMEs, I have observed almost 99% SMEs, they just do breakdown maintenance. When machine breaks down, then they only do maintenance. Now, Jade focuses to shift their practices from breakdown maintenance to plant maintenance. So every machine supplier, they give maintenance schedule just like in our car, we get a service schedule every 6 months or 5,000 kilometers, you must get it maintained. If those who are following it, their car gives better life, better reliability, better performance. The same way, a concept of planned maintenance has to be started by SMEs, which will improve quality, which will improve their reliability, availability of the equipment. So this concept will be mandatory once you are a Jade company. Then, as I mentioned, how to measure the performance of a machine. There is a parameter called overall equipment effectiveness. This combines equipment availability, performance, how it is doing, quality, and third is quality rating. So a tool, it is a TPM tool which is implemented in companies to continuously monitor the performance and availability of the equipment. Then the plant layout has to be here. Most of the industries, SMEs, they have grown with the time. So the machines are laid out in many situations randomly. What is required, as you see in this diagram, an ideal cellular layout, the material should flow in a particular fashion so that it covers the minimum distance. So here the layout can be modified companies to ensure that minimum travel distance involved during the production. So they can improve their layout for improving the productivity and reducing the transportation and handling costs. So briefly, I touched 8 parameters what is required to be addressed in production management. Next is the materials management. There are the 5 parameters: material handling, materials management, supplier development, outsourcing, and transport and storage. If we just see the purpose of materials management is to ensure that you are having the minimum inventory. Inventory is a direct adding cost to the production. So how much inventory should be there? This is a big question. You should not have overstock at the same time. You should not have understock, out of stock situation. For this, just-in-time tool, a Japanese lean manufacturing tool, which is a very effective, just controls exactly what is needed, how much is needed, and when is needed. So by materials management practice, one can reduce the inventory, optimize inventory, which gives immediate impact on reduction of working capital. I myself, during consulting, seen some companies, SMEs, we are having a working capital to 10 to 12 crores. They could bring without any impact on the availability of the material and business, brought down to 30 to 40% reduction in working capital, and thus the cost has significantly come down. This is one of the best way to reduce your cost. Then comes material handling. Material handling practices in the many SMEs, they just throw the material and break it and then again repair it. Just by applying the modern material handling facilities, providing proper training, and these are not expensive equipment, but there has to be a system for handling, there has to be a procedure for handling the material, and people must be trained on that so they can reduce. Yeah, there's another question I got. Is there any subsidy scheme available for new manufacturers from Indian government, those who have working experience in particular manufacturing sector? Yes, this is, if you go on the DC MSME site, the financial scheme for Jade certification, you will get the details of it. But here it is a different scheme. Like here the government is giving subsidy for the audit and certification, but the initial preparation and learning implementation they have to do at their cost. Once they have reached to the bronze or silver or gold model, then government gives subsidy and help to upgrade their level. So this is not giving just in the beginning, but partial subsidy. As I explained, to go to the scheme, a 62-page scheme guidelines are available on the website on the DCS MSME as well as on Jade.org, and that gives complete details of the scheme. Then next is the supplier development. If you want quality supply in your company coming from your suppliers, then this is a very important that you must educate your employer. Like the Maruti, for example, it is helping their suppliers to upgrade their quality. They are providing them training, they are facilitating them, and they are guiding them to come up to the quality level. So helping here, that's why it has been added in that you must help your supplier to become a quality producer so that your quality improves. Next is outsourcing. Nowadays, outsourcing has become one of the very practical tools for the companies. They can go for better quality product from the expert industries. There is no need for everything, no need for manufacturing everything within your company. So you must identify outsourcing, the competent outsourcing companies who can do it, but they must be guided on the quality and monitored to ensure that quality. Transportation and storage. There are many things made in the SMEs very nice, but because of bad transportation and storage conditions, they get damaged. I was just seeing yesterday on the TV in the Chhattisgarh, thousands of tons of rice because of the bad storage that has become rotten. So it's not just making good quality product. We have to ensure that till the product reaches in the hands of customers safely in a good condition, the responsibility of the supplier is not over. So there must be a proper system for transportation and storage of good products what you have made. Now third factor is design management. Many companies they are involved in the design, but there is no structured design process. So it is emphasizing the people means the companies to have a structured design process, and they develop design capability by having competent people and softwares and other devices. And third thing is that design compliance. There are so many regulatory requirements are there which must be complied in the design stage itself. Coming to the design development process. If the design and development has become essential for any company to grow. Everybody is aware about the Apple. Apple, they make sure that their revenue, 70% revenue comes from the new product development. So the future companies who are going to grow, they must emphasize on design and development, whether it is a small company or big company, immaterial. So there is a structured design development process as shown in this model. There is an international method is there. The companies they must follow structured design and development process. Design capability, the persons involved in design, they must be competent, they must be trained, they must use proper the softwares every day. These are things are coming up, and here this is very important. I've seen many garment manufacturer companies. They are supplying to the Europe, USA, China, America, Russia. So each country has got some their regulatory requirements. So those regulatory requirements must be complied in the design. It should be built in the design itself. So that's why the designers they must be aware the policies of the government, the regulations of the importing country, what are the standards applicable, what are the rules, and everything must be transparent. So these are the three factors which comes in the design. Now coming to the most important part, we all need quality. So the very simple formula for quality: produce quality, demand quality, deliver quality. We should not compromise in the production. We should not compromise when buying the quality. We should not compromise while delivering quality. So there are 8 parameters are there. Why problem comes in our quality? First thing is the process capability. Our processes are not capable to deliver quality. As I gave the example of Rio Olympic, why we failed to get more medals? Because our athletes, participants, their techniques were not capable. They were capable, but their techniques training was not developed in to make them capable to win the medal. Same thing happens. We have to improve the process capability. Then process validation, process control, process capability improvement, scrap reduction, outgoing quality, in-house quality, and field performance quality. These are 8 parameters that take care of all quality requirements. I'll briefly touch upon these things. One of the greatest quality gurus, Juran, he gave very nice concept. To improve quality, you must have 3 things: quality planning, quality control, quality improvement. Just like we manage our finance, we create a plan by making a budget. Then how we control the budget? By auditing and seeing that nothing goes out of the budget. If something goes out of the budget, we rectify. And third thing is that we have to continuously improve our spending. The same principle applies in the quality management. So SMEs, they have to learn how to plan quality, how to control quality, how to improve quality. This must be incorporated by in these 8 parameters what I discussed. The most important part is the process capability. In fact, in market, your product doesn't compete. In true sense, your process capability competes. If your process is capable, it will make good product. So to enhance your competitiveness, you have to increase your process capability. There are so many statistical methods are there. People have to learn and implement it. So it makes this Jade model emphasizes that people improve their process capability, they learn the technique. Then the process validation. You have made your process capable, but how do you know? There is a method to validate whether it is really performing as desired or not. This is only by demonstrating the desired output it can be validated. The same now the process control. There are so many statistical techniques, simple techniques, control charts. If it is learned by the SME people, they can control the quality to make it sure that every product and every process is operated within the control limits. Process capability improvement. Many of you must have heard about Six Sigma that talks about the process capability improvement. As you see the graph, if your spread, your range is very wide, then your process capability is not very good. If you just compress by improving your practices and improving your equipment performance, it becomes narrow range, then your process becomes more capable. It is just like a game of a cricket, a bowler. If he is throwing the ball just in narrow range within the wicket, he gets more wicket. But if somebody is throwing the ball with very wide range, then he cannot get the wickets. The same principle applies in the process capability improvement. You have to improve your process in the narrow range. The scrap means here the defective percentage, what you are rejecting as a scrap, it must come down. This is one of the very simple measure that your process is improving. But before that, I have seen most of the SMEs, they are not monitoring at all how much scrap has been generated. So it must be monitored every day, every hour, what is scrap. If scrap rate is coming down, it means your process is improving. If it is going up, means it gives you indication that your process is not in your control. So you have to find out the causes and improve it. Excuse me. So there are three things you must monitor in every SME or the big company. First, outgoing quality. Whatever is going to customer, you must make sure that nothing wrong goes, even at the cost, your cost, because this is going to impact your credibility. This is a responsibility of every company. No bad product goes. So you must have a proper outgoing quality management system process to ensure that your defects are less in-house control. So all statistical techniques help you to make sure that your defect level comes down. And finally, this is very important to get the feedback from the customers. What is the field performance level? Like many auto companies, they conduct surveys how their machines are performing. Same way, SMEs, they also get sometimes the data how their products are performing, because those inputs will improve, help you to improve your quality to make the customer friendly, and which is going to help your business in long as well as short term. So this way, 8 parameters essential for controlling quality. Now the next comes, you have delivered to the customer. The service management and customer education is very important part. The, here are the 4 parameters: timely delivery, customer servicing, customer education, and disposal after use. Now on-time delivery. Let us accept that we Indians, every company, whether it is big or small, we are the worst in the on-time delivery. I've interacted a lot of SMEs, they say they don't get any inquiry from the Australia because they are very rigid on-time delivery. So we have to improve for survival of the Indian industry and the growth of country, on-time delivery. So there is a technique for on-time delivery measurement and control. So that has to be applied in the company. Then the customer servicing. In many situations, till order is not received, we give very good response to our customers, even till the material is handled. But many companies, after the post delivery, they don't respond. So they have to develop a system for post delivery customer service system. Then customer education about the product usage and maintenance. What happens? Many product, because of the wrong operation, gets damaged and you get a lot of quality complaints. Then finally, the warranty and guarantee conflict starts. One of the reasons for that, customers are not educated how to use it, how to maintain it. So this is the responsibility of supplier to give the better performance of their product. They must educate it. One of the simple method of education, giving the instruction on the product itself through the videos or through the manuals or the various, nowadays the so many channels are there to educate the suppliers. So this is one of the very important aspect must be addressed by the SMEs. Then disposal after use. Today there are so many products after use being dumped everywhere. This is creating big environmental problem, space problem, and material handling problem. So disposal after use, it must be addressed in design also, so that the product can be recycled. And more important, the customers must be educated how to dispose the product, especially many items which are got, like you are seeing here, the syringes, needles, they must be destroyed. Otherwise, earlier it was causing a lot of infection. Same way, there are many items which emit radioactive radiations. How to store them, how to dispose them. For every item, every product, at the end of life cycle, there must be clear instruction how to dispose it, so that it doesn't make any impact on the environment or on the any hazard to the people. The sixth discipline is safety management. Safety management, there are two main parameters: safe working environment and safety performance. Awareness and management of safety is very poor in Indian SMEs. Therefore, it is essential they must have a proper safety management system to create a safe environment. How the safety management system works? First is there must be a safety policy of zero accident. Then roles and responsibilities of the people to handle the safe conditions must be identified. Then identification of hazards. What are the hazards happening in the company, in the process, from the product handling, that must be identified before anything happens. Then risk assessment and mitigation. What are the risks associated? And then the solution has to be found out how to mitigate that risk. Monitoring and evaluation. Safety performance of the company must be monitored so that one can review and bring down the zero accident. This is very important because every accident that causes cost to the company, cost to the society, demoralizes the worker. So this is very, very important for SMEs, otherwise it is ignored. So the JED emphasizes that they must follow the safety management. For that, so many safety devices are there. Hardly in very few companies we find that helmets are being used, goggles are used, devices are used, all the adverse conditions are there. So this is educating the industry to make safe environment in the company. And to ensure that you are managing safety efficiently, all the safety parameters must be recorded and managed just like your sales, profit, and your accounts you are monitoring. The same way safety performance must be monitored to ensure that your safety performance is good. Yeah, there are some questions I would like to. Reimbursement on ISO certification has been withdrawn. However, reimbursement is being introduced in JED certification, but again, JED is not mandatory. In such scenario, one should opt for JED or ISO 9000. As I explained, there is no competition of JED or ISO. ISO is just addressing a part of system. JED is a very comprehensive model and it is going to be recognized. A JED, why it has been withdrawn by the government? Because all the fake certification is started, that is the one of the reason. But based on my experiences with Quality Council of India. Here in the JIT, we have ensured that there is nothing going to fail. It is going to be the most credible, more religious, and the honest certification in the country. So, no comparison with the JIT and ISO. I think this is clear to do. What are the possible pitfalls of pushing zero defects? Yeah, let's not see the pitfalls. Let's see what are the possible benefits of zero defects. It is going to give very, very big brand for your company at no cost at all. This is if just like I want to go to New York and want which hotel I should stay. Just click on the hotels, you get the list of 5-star, 4-star, 3-star hotels, you select it. Same way for every product, if any importer or any Indian buyer wants to know who are the best companies, just click on that product. All the JET certified companies will appear. So this is giving to the greatest benefit, biggest brand in the country for the whole world at no cost, most prestigious, and this is going to be ensured that this is not going to be fake like ISO. There won't be any false certification. Another question, can we get commercial support loan for a startup manufacturer from India government? If so, kindly share detail how to approach. The startup schemes are different. Here means nothing is in Jade. And there is no such, for an implementation of Jade, there is not much capital involved except some money for the consulting, training, which is negligible for any industry. Now the seventh parameter out of the 12th, seventh functional area, environmental management. Friends, during in the 20th century, there has been a tremendous development in the world, throughout the world. In our country also, we have started exporting. But at what cost? Today, neither we have got a clean water, nor the clean air, nor the clean earth. Means we are just in the rat race. We wanted to produce quality, but at the cost of environment. Thanks to the wisdom of our visionary Prime Minister, he came out with a brilliant idea of balancing it. And now the environmental management has become essential for our survival and for the survival of our next generation. So this is one of the most ignored area in SMEs, even the bigger enterprises also. So it is creating awareness, social responsibility, and facilitating people to think to go for the environmental control. So there are 5 parameters are there. First, technology selection and upgradation for the environmental control, system for abatement of effluents and pollutants, environment protection equipment, planned maintenance of all the environment control equipments, and monitoring of environmental performance. So these 5 parameters give a continuous monitoring for managing the environmental aspects of the companies. Let me touch upon these things. Today, what is the environmental issue? We all feeling it. The global warming, ozone depletion, poor air quality, acid rains, land contamination, photochemical smog, water pollution, noise pollution, and destruction of our flora and fauna. So how it should be addressed? Just see the industrial pollution, thermal, air, water, light, land, noise. Every day we are feeling. It doesn't need any explanation to that. The environmental management system, now the new ISO 14,000, that is focusing on the main thing is sustainability. The sustainability has become the main focus so that we must keep our environment clean for the future and enhancing environmental performance. We must improve. So with the WTO agreement also, it has become mandatory for country to control the pollution rate, carbon footprints. So in that direction, this has become one of the very important. So to have environmental control, we need to have environmental management planning, a structured method. It cannot just by getting pollution control department no objection certificate is not environmental management. We have to identify products, processes which are creating pollution, and we have to find out a proper solution to control it. So there is a proper structured model which becomes essential for a Jade certified company. Technology selection and continuous upgradation. So 20 years back, what was technology for pollution control, which has become obsolete? It must be upgraded continuously to ensure that the effluent norms are within control. Same way system, there has to be proper system for the pollution control. Third, installation of environmental protection and measuring equipment. The company must have a proper laboratory monitoring. It's not necessary that very expensive machines are required. Only more training and simple instrument can monitor the air quality, water quality. Even I have seen some water production company, packaged water, they don't have proper lab, but they are selling packaged water as per the standard. So simple machines, simple lab, they must have to monitor the norms. Planned maintenance of pollution control equipment. So the pollution control equipment must be maintained properly in the planned way so that their functioning is within the norms. And the environmental performance about the air quality, water quality, solid waste quality, and other factors which are impacting the pollution, they must be monitored regularly. If they are monitored, then only we can control it. Now the next part is the energy management. As you know, now the energy has become very, very crucial, and every day the price of energy is going up. So we have to adopt a scientific method for reducing the energy. It includes planning and operation of energy production and energy consumption units. Because energy is directly adding your cost. In addition to cost, it is spoiling the climate protection. Energy is generation source is one of the major source for the pollution, whether it is a power plant or generator. So to control energy cost, we must have a system for energy efficiency. We must monitor energy performance, and we must maintain the energy consuming equipment to make it efficient. So energy management, simple thing, begins with audit, analysis, and action. You must audit what is my energy consumption. It must be monitored. It must be analyzed where the changes are taking place, and proper action has to be taken where the energy consumption is more than that. So two factors are important: energy conservation and efficiency. Both are equally important. Just like LED bulb, once you are going out of the room, putting off the lights, that is called energy conservation. But energy efficiency is that instead of your bulb, simple bulb or fluorescent lamp going for LED, so we are going to get the same light with lesser energy. So this is energy efficiency. The same way, there are so many devices and so many different types of motors have come which perform the same work but lesser energy consumption. You might have seen the 5-star leveling in the air conditioners, refrigerators, because they are being labeled as per the energy conservation and energy efficiency. So every industry has to reduce the energy consumption, and how they can use one of the best methods is by using the efficient technology, efficient devices. So this is emphasizing on the energy. So energy performance must be monitored regularly. Here the term we use is specific energy consumption for every unit of product produced. It must come down by improving the process. Then only you can reduce the cost and control the price. The planned maintenance of every energy generating, using and consuming equipment must be monitored regularly. Next parameter is natural resources. What are the two parameters here? System of for natural resource conservation and optimal use of natural resources. What is natural resource? Which is made by the nature, which is not man-made. Like forest resources, water resources, mineral resources, food resources, land resources, energy resources. These items cannot be created by the mankind. These are the natural resources and these are very, very limited. Every day it is reducing. We have seen during the last summer what are the conditions of non-availability of water, especially in the Maharashtra region and so many areas, almost Bundelkhand, people who are starving for their drinking water. So we have to manage these natural resources. We have to uh, minimize the wastage of these resources. Like how to minimize it? This non-renewable energy has to be substituted by renewable energy. So this way, like oil and fuel, for the power generation, it can be by solar energy, hydropower energy, thermal energy, wind energy, biomass energy. So gradually the companies have to think and depend on that renewable energy so that their consumption of power also comes down, the power bill also comes down. At the same time, the conservation of the natural resources. Already many companies they have started using the solar energy and that's going to play the major role. Then for optimization of natural resource consumption, that very simple formula. Reduce the consumption by efficient process, reuse it, try to recycle it. So these are the three things are there and we already in many cities the different kind of dustbins are there segregating which can be help in reuse and recycle. So this has to be adapted by industry. Now the 10th parameter is that human resource. The most important resource for the industry is the human resource. Ultimately, everything has to be improved by the people. Everything has to be managed, improved by the people. So they must be developed. They must learn how to improve. They must get the knowledge of latest techniques. So for that, these three parameters are important. First, people development. Every company, SME, they must train their people on the relevant skills. Already government is doing a lot of skill development programs. So every company they must identify what skills are required for the people and they must develop it. Then employee involvement. Once people are competent, but they must be motivated to get involved, voluntary. They should not just do forcibly, just for the sake of job. They must be involved from the heart. And for that, the leaders of the SMEs, especially the CEOs and the entrepreneurs, they have to create an environment for the motivating the people. Then the outcome of LEI has to be monitored. Basically, then what is the total employee involvement? How it is impacting on the performance that must be monitored regularly. Then only we can know how much development is required. So these three parameters like employee development. This is one of the most powerful lean principle. There are three things are required in any company for a success. First is the purpose. What is the purpose of doing any work? Second, the process. Is the process capable enough to meet the purpose? And third is whether the people are capable enough to align themselves to run those processes, maintain those processes to attain the purpose. So the key of these three parameters, three critical pillars is the people. In most of the SMEs, there is no structured training program, there is no people development program. So those companies, those who want to grow, those who want to become world class, they must develop a system for training and developing the people. So how to do it? It starts first what skills are required in your company to perform every kind of job. Then what is the gap between the people who are operating between the job requirement and their current skills? Once gap analysis is there, based on that a curriculum has to be developed and training has to be provided. And once conceptual training is there, then on the job training, this is the way how a competency has to be developed. The SMEs, they need it very badly to develop the people. They can take the help of experts, consultants. This is not an expensive affair, but attitude is required. for developing the skill of the people, for continuously upgrading their skill. Because unless the people are skilled, you cannot produce quality, you cannot reduce the cost, you cannot improve on the time delivery. So there must be a plan. So this standard demands that what is the people development plan of your company. So these are the 4 steps one has to do. Then employee involvement. Here the involvement just forcibly doing just because they get salary is not important. Here they must be involved from their heart. So a lot of things are there. Motivation system is there. Freedom of expression is there. No fear is required. So the companies, those who want to grow, those who want to become world class, they have to create what a culture within the company where everybody is engaged willingly. So a lot of techniques are there. There are many consultants there who can facilitate the company. Again, I am telling this is not capital intensive. They have to fix some budget for improving the employee because these are the investment. This is not expensive. If you are spending 100 rupees, I am sure that you will get more than 1000 rupees. But in the beginning, one has to invest it. Then total employee involvement, a lot of suggestion schemes, some social gathering. There are many techniques. HR experts guide you so that how the people can be involved. Unless the employees are totally involved, company cannot. So these are the 3 parameters which is essential for the driving the people to that. Now next comes the intellectual property, intellectual property management. So here this is very important for our country. We get a lot of complaints that a lot of intellectual property is violated in India. I read somewhere in Delhi, Nehru Place, many of you must be knowing that is one of the computer component hub. That is the place where the maximum software is being pirated, where we are dishonoring the intellectual property. Once we are trying to become world class, we have to respect intellectual property of others. At the same time, we have to protect our intellectual property. So there are 4 kinds of main intellectual property: trademark, industrial design, copyright, and patents. So here the problem of infringement that is going to cause litigation, also international dispute also. So we must start honoring the intellectual property. Like as I told, many companies they get trademark registered, but still it is being copied by many things. Industrial design, nobody means once any design is made, that becomes intellectual property of the designer. If somebody wants to copy, then he can take a license from them by paying a nominal royalty. Same way, copyright, whatever the written material that must be protected by the copyright and the patent of any invention. So all these 4 areas we must respect others' intellectual property. At the same time, we must protect our intellectual property by following the legal practices being followed in different countries of the world. Finally, whatever we are doing, we must monitor our performance regularly. Because unless you monitor your performance, you don't know how good or bad you are doing. Once we know deviation from the performance, we take immediate actions. So performance management we start with the planning, monitoring, aligning, measuring, improving, follow up, repeat. So this way, performance management is one of the very important factors. So 8 types of performance is regularly monitored: quality performance, process performance, environmental performance, energy performance, safety performance, employee involvement, sales performance, profit performance. So the various parameters already identified in the Jade model, which this is the main responsibility of the top management, CEO of the company. They must monitor performance, not just yearly, but the daily, weekly, monthly, to ensure that whatever the plan has been made, whether it is being followed or not, to taking timely action to ensure that. So all these best practices, what is being applied by the top world-class companies, the management techniques, that has been put in very simple form in this JED model, which can be learned and applied by the SMEs. And this is going to make you the big company because I have gone through the details of this model. I've implemented, facilitated implementation. So all this requirement has been made in such a way that any SME, those who are seriously willing to do it, not at all difficult. But it requires a very strong will and desire for going for the check. Now coming how to implement it. So far I have discussed what are the parameters, what are things which is required, how to implement. This is the really the big challenge. This is the steps. First, if company has decided that I must go for JET, then foundation training. All employees they must know what is JET, how it is going to help, what is their role. Then next step, when people become aware, gap analysis. Companies are operating at particular with a system. Then this is measured as per the JED model. What is the gap between their current practices and what is the required practices for the JED? So then the gap has to be filled by re-engineering their process. They have to redesign their processes. They have to realign. Means it doesn't require any massive re-engineering, but means expert can guide how to improve it. Just like renovating any old home. Any architect, he can find out what need to be modified, repaired. Then once your processes are re-engineered, then you have to develop standard operating procedures that become viable for the operation. For every activity, there must be standard operating procedure. That is the best method of performing that task. Once that is developed, then people should be trained based on the new process. Once they are trained, then formally JED implementation is launched based on the new improved process, new improved procedures, trained people. Once your operation becomes stable, it is monitored and controlled. Once you become sure that my all processes are running as per the improved methodology according to JED, then you can go for the self-assessment. Then you apply for the self-assessment to QCI, and then after that there will be desktop audit and assessment for the certification. So JED has become, JED is going to be really a tool to create a trusted brand. People are spending, companies are spending lakhs, millions of rupees to create a trusted brand by through the advertisement and so many medias. But that trusted brand cannot be trusted, at least I can't trust, because there is no certification of any third independent body, reliable independent body. Here, through the JET, you are going to create a trusted brand which is being certified by independent certification body supported by the government of India, which has got the backing. So this is going to be the very, very powerful branding of your company. And that brand is going to be recognized throughout the world. So Jade is really going to be the game changer for the Indian SMEs. As our great father of the nation says, you may never know that results come of your actions, but if you do nothing, there will be no results. So those companies, those who want to improve, they have to adopt new things. And Jade has appeared as a really golden opportunity for SMEs to become world class. Though it is not a very easy journey, but not at all impossible. It requires the commitment of the CEOs, strong desire, and total dedication. Just they have to learn it, they have to practice it, and they have to come out. So this is about briefly about the JET. So I conclude with this. I'll be happy to answer your questions. So whatever questions you are having, you can just add this. Some more questions. Okay, friends, I hope you got overview of the Jade and how it is important. So this is going to decide the future of growing companies. And I believe only small plant in a nursery that becomes big banyan tree if it is nurtured properly by taking care by the gardener. So every SME is a gardener for a small industry which is likely to become big multinational corporation like the same way Reliance started few years back. And I gave the latest example, Havels, one of the greatest living example, which was just few years back, started just a trader of the electrical wires, started putting a small company to make plastic coated electrical wire. Now it has become one of the very respected quality producer and operating in 5, 6 countries with a very respected product. With all the best wishes, thank you very much for patient hearing.